Hi, everybody. I'm Jillian Telling from People Magazine, and I'm here with a cast of the incredibly funny, incredibly feminist new Charlie's Angels. I've got Elizabeth Banks with me, of course. I've got Naomi Scott, Kristen Stewart, Ella Balinska. So thank you for joining us. And let's talk about your awesome new movie, which is incredibly inspiring and made me feel like going out and sort of beating up some men afterwards.
Sweet.
But this is not a reboot, right?
It's a continuation, is what I like to say, yeah.
Yeah.
We took into consideration in the universe of Charlie's Angels everything that's come before. So it started in the late 70s that Charles Townsend, who was a really wealthy guy, created a private detective agency where he plucked 3 women out of the police academy and let them be PIs. And Drew Barrymore took that concept and made it into 2 films in the early 2000s. And here we are 17 and a half years later with new angels for a new generation.
Right. And in this one, I hope this isn't a spoiler, but there's more than just 3 angels.
Yeah, that was kind of the big idea of the movie. Is like, what did that guy Charles Townsend build over the last 40 years? And now we are not just 3 angels in California, but a global spy agency with angels all over the world.
So it's a very fun movie to watch. Nonstop action, very funny. Was it very fun to make? Because it looked like it was.
It was.
Yeah.
So tell me about.
Was
it okay? So be honest. Was it grueling? Was it just mostly fun with a little bit of grueling aspects to it?
Okay, guys, be honest.
right?
Be honest.
It was no, there were times where it was grueling.
Yeah.
However, I will say that when you're in the trenches with, people and a cast and a director, I also think that that's when you sometimes get the best staff. That's when you kind of come together and when those things feel organic. And at the point at which it's like, well, we've seen everything. We've really been through it, whether it's like, a night shoot or for these guys, physical staff or whatever. It then means the scenes where you're supposed to be kind of emotionally connected feels quite natural because you've been through something together. So that's how I felt. But it was also, and then you just have those moments of release, which are just the scenes that are hilarious and really funny and you're trying not to laugh.
Right.
I love grueling stuff. Like, my
Yeah,
favorite
you
thing
do.
is to be like, oh man, this is so hard.
Dig it in!
Yeah, and it that is only fun when you're, with your homies
Yeah.
and like with your comrades. And that's my favorite thing that I've been allowed to do since I was little. I'm so lucky. Like, I think that women who are really capable and like gonna push things forward and actually be the doers in life love getting the crap kicked out of them, because that just means that you're like, all right, I can take it. Let's go.
Right.
I'm going to move this thing
Yeah,
forward.
but it builds your resilience.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the messages I took away from the film is that sisterhood is more powerful together. And did you feel like that was the point you wanted to make, sort of, with this one?
For sure, for me, that
Yeah.
was a huge part of it. I think as a thematic, the idea of camaraderie, sisterhood, sorority, that you're part of something larger than yourself also is really important to me. That we felt like that there's a world beyond just this movie that is that this movie affects and lives in, and that these women, their story actually means something bigger to people out beyond it.
Yeah.
And how about in your life? Is sisterhood something that is everything to you?
Yeah, oh my God, to be like truly accompanied is so, to be substantiated, to have like your inner thoughts and feelings and insecurities that may have been pummeled by the world we live in, which is purely informed by, patriarchal infrastructure. Everything's sort of like, oh, well, maybe we're not, maybe we can't. You go, oh no, I love you, man. Like, that's everything. You can't think that by yourself. Like, you can have inklings. You can be like, wait, why do I feel like I'm not enough? Why do I feel like... And then you just need, like, one like mind or, like, someone who feels a sameness with you to go, dude, we're in it together. And then, like, if you don't have that at some point, it's remarkable to have any sort of like self-assurement. So it's, we need
I will
we
say
need
in
each
this
other.
movie, we, instead of, when I was writing the script, I always wrote, we don't send help, we don't send aid, we don't send people, we send love.
Right.
And that became
It's
a
one of the
theme
thing, yeah.
for us in the movie, I think.
I also feel like, those posters where it was like, we need you. And it's like the movie kind of gives that at the end. It's very inclusive. It is that kind of thing of now it's about you and like the audience, you know what I mean? And feeling like, oh, someone said to me the other day, I wanted to call up all my friends afterwards. And it's like, that is the feeling you want to evoke, you know?
Right.
So it doesn't feel as unattainable, you know, which I think is really, really cool.
Right. So let's go into your characters. You are, as someone just referred to, the quadruple threat. You wrote, you produced, you directed, but you also starred, and you have a very funny character. You play Bosley, who's the boss, girl Bosley.
Yeah.
Start that. trending. So tell me what it was like to take on that character that hadn't been played by a woman.
Well, you know, the Bosley character, I has always been their support system and has always sort of been like a mentor to the teams of angels throughout the series. In the first film that Drew Barrymore made, it was played by Bill Murray, for instance. It's always kind of been a comic relief character as well. So I just thought, well, I'll just go in there and make a bunch of silly jokes and let them shine.
So well, though.
And that's
But
really
you're a
what
badass
happened.
too.
Yes, well, you know, the good news about my Bosley being a woman is I got to essentially say I used to be an angel. I'm a former angel who got promoted, which is also a nice message in the movie. When you're 40, we don't kick you out.
Right, exactly.
By the way, your Bosley definitely made me stand at
Yes.
attention. Like Bosley would
100%.
come in, or Boz would come in, and I'd be like, oh, hi.
Right.
The power was very
Yeah.
intrinsic to you. It wasn't necessarily, you didn't need to write it in because it was already in your bones.
I got promoted for a reason. I mean,
Right.
you know, not all the angels get promoted.
Bosley as well, like especially for my character, was very nurturing.
Yes.
My character's super independent and doesn't like play that well with others. And like Boz kind of comes in, and you know, even the part where you're like, hugs work.
Yeah.
You know, she gives me a hug for it because I'm upset, and that
There's
for the
that
character,
warmth,
it's very, you know, that's a big transition to make, and for a Bosley to sort of have that kind of role in this as well is incredible.
Dude, a big sister is everything. Like there's nothing. I only have brothers. If I had a big sis to be like, hey, hugs work,
Right.
I would have.
How you operate in the
really
world.
loved that.
I actually got
always
very
wanted a
choked up
sister
in
as
that
well.
moment because it is hard to sort of be a woman empowering through the world and allow yourself to be emotional too, at work especially. Or,
Yeah, I also, it was really important to me that we made an action movie that had hugs in it.
yeah.
Because you're not going to see that in another action movie. That's something that is really specific to a Charlie's Angels movie.
Right. Kristen, let's talk about your character because she is very funny. She's sort of a wild chick. But she's also comic relief. Is that sort of what you're like in real life? Funny. Sorry, I put you on the spot.
You're funny in real
You
life.
should talk about yourself.
No, but you seem like very lighthearted
really-
in the movie, and it seems coming through the screen that that's actually who you truly are.
She is funny in real life. I'll answer that part so you don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, Sabina wants to find her people. That's like, I think, kind of a huge sort of mission statement that the movie has, but that I get to exemplify in a really literal way. She's, you know, from a family that, you know, in certain ways make you feel like elitist and important. And so she has this kind of like cockiness and like sort of like self-possessed thing that's like, God, how are you so comfortable? But yet, and really underneath the surface, she's like, yeah, but can you like please love me?
Yeah, she's like orphan almost.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I mean, like in real life, for sure. I think I like to like make these guys laugh when things get too serious. But then at the same time, I'm like an overtly serious person too.
You have both sides.
Yeah. So I think both. Like I think that Sabina.
And also then wanting to be like, you are like that as well. You
I'm pulling
yeah,
in
you're
all the
very
time.
much. Yeah.
So I love that girl. I do really like my character. It's like it's kind of rare when you don't play somebody who is very defined and outside of yourself, and your job really is to kind of just bring something natural and something true and something that reflects maybe closer to what you are. So it was a really nice opportunity to just sort of live and breathe in the moment with these girls and know that if I was having a good time and that if I felt the love, then it would be in the movie. And it really wasn't something that we had to like work on.
Right.
Or a character I had to work on.
They didn't have to take you aside for special training on how to be funny and lighthearted.
No.
Naomi, let's talk about your character too, Elena, the scientist or the brilliant engineer who talks all sorts of tech stuff that went over my head.
And mine.
And yours, I was going to say, did any of that make sense to you?
Kinda is real.
Did you watch my
Kinda
Found
is real.
TV, by the way? Did you watch?
Or are you trying to do
Yeah.
texting?
So no. So when I first got the script, I was like, okay, yeah, she's like the Dune. And by the way, I don't know why this is, and I know you, but I tend to play geniuses, and I don't know. No, but like it's weird because I don't know what I.
I would say it's the British accent, but you had an American
By
accent
the
in
way,
this.
maybe, but yeah, then again. But yeah, I remember when I went in for my first meeting with Liz when we were on set, and it was like our first kind of director actor meeting, and my first question was, "What is blockchain?" Do you remember?
Yeah.
And so what happened was, so Liz Banks is very, very smart. Okay, she's like very, very smart, and so I was kind of like thinking it would be something simple that she could kind of break down. So she's kind of like, talking to me, and I was like, yeah, I'm not quite getting it. And then she had to get out a piece of paper and draw a diagram.
Elizabeth, how did you honestly manage to do all the directing, producing, and the acting, all of it? I mean, were there two of you? Were you just not sleeping for a
You
year and a half?
compartmentalize. You don't do. It's rare you're doing all the jobs at once.
It was incredible to watch.
I think women are really good at multitasking, and that's really all. That's what it's about. And get through every day and make your checklist and hire the absolute best people to put around you, so that it makes the job a lot easier. And that's what I had in these ladies.
Right. So I know this isn't super feminist, but can we talk about the clothes because they are so unbelievably amazing? That's true. That's true.
I mean,
But I'm not just asking about the clothes, but let's talk about the
Ella,
clothes
you
because
had
they're
some
incredible.
costumes that you loved.
Yeah,
Did you have a
we had
favorite?
Kim Barrett did such an amazing job with us, as she was able to incorporate the fact that the clothes needed to be practical, reflective of our characters, but also forward thinking, and like everything has everything has a purpose as to why you're wearing it, and especially in the Angel closet, there's that bulletproof composite body armor.
Oh yes, the
Yeah.
name she remembers.
I remember that.
This girl.
Yeah. Thank you. that you put it up, and everything has a thing that it does. But then also sort of our characters' styles. Like one of my favorite outfits that I wear is my hero suit. It's like this navy suit, which is actually a men's suit. And some boyfriend, husband, or son, or someone will be sitting watching the movie and go, "Hey, don't I own that?" But yeah, and even you had your awesome white stormtrooper look, but it was like multifaceted. It could transform. It was a jockey. Next thing, you put the harness on, and
That's something that clothes can do for you. Like
Yeah.
fashion sort of implies like, oh, it's superficial. It means nothing. It's just like, oh, girls wanting to be pretty, whatever. No, like there are parts of yourself that can come out if you find the right thing to wear, that you can surprise yourself. And there are so many versions of ourselves, here. And that's the cool thing about our clothes. Kim Barrett was so incredible. She was like, okay, I see you in this, I see you in this, I see you in this. And it made us feel capable, and it made us sort of legitimate, and also show that we weren't like just one particular way.
Right.
Because she can make them. She makes them from scratch as
wow.
well. So that
She
made
built a lot
was
of stuff for
bespoke
us.
to each
It's really
situation.
impressive. She did Romeo and Juliet with Baz Luhrmann, which is like, for me,
favorite.
clothing-wise, like one of the most incredible. And I only found out like halfway through, and I was like, of course you did that movie.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
well, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Her list of credits is insane.
Well, now going to Romeo and Juliet with Baz Luhrmann, which had an incredible soundtrack. This soundtrack is also incredible, and it's all females, right?
Yeah.
And so how did you sort of go through all the many tracks and decide which ones you wanted?
They were so collaborative. It was really incredible. And first of all, we came back. Independent Women by Destiny's Child was so sort of integral to the success and the iconography of the last movies. And I thought we would never top that. But I knew that I wanted to try and find thematically like a super group to put together in the way that Destiny's Child was the three women. Like, wouldn't it be so great if we could do that? And Ariana Grande was very interested in working on a soundtrack, and loved Charlie's Angels. And then it really came from her and her producing partners. She's very close with Miley. Hey, Miley, you want to be on an album? Like that Lana Del Rey part kind of came together later, as they figured out what that who the third woman would be, it just was so fun to watch a process take place in just like put a seed into the world, and then it grew into that. It's been so fun. And then everything else also amazing.
It's a great song. Quickly going to locations, which we didn't talk about. It was basically like an ad for Hamburg, which I need to go to, and Istanbul, which I need to go to as well. Was it fun to be in those places?
Those places were so much fun to be in. I mean, we traveled to some amazing locations and felt the weather of all of them. And
You imagine that as Charlie's Angels would be like romping around in bikinis and stuff.
Right.
We were in Eastern Europe being like, oh, it's sexy espionage.
yeah, but we traveled to some incredible places, and I mean, Istanbul was incredible to be was it the Villafendi Hippodrome?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the line I could never say. I don't know if it's even in the movie. Do I even say that anymore? She was probably like, nope, she didn't get it. We don't have one take of us saying it clean.
Not
I
true.
feel like these girls were all over the map.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
we couldn't have done that staying in one place or just strictly shooting in a studio.
exactly.
Like when you watch the movie, you're like, wow, we are everywhere. We really travel. Our reaches are, you know.
And I think it's good that it was so distinct from the original, being so Californian vibes, that this is very Europe. We are in Europe, you know. And I think that already from the get-go, it's like, okay, we're somewhere different. As time's gone by, it's become this global agency.
I love the cameos at the end. I got all excited. I was like, it's Chloe Kim. Let's Ronda Rousey. Yeah. I'm allowed to say that. It's out there. And also the introduction where you're showing, and I hope this isn't a spoiler, but you're showing just young girls growing up, just regular kids.
Yeah, it was really important to me that you have a little context while you watch the movie about the potential of girls.
Right.
That, you know, we as a globally suppress female potential, and I feel like it's important as you watch this movie to be reminded that these were little girls, and now there's these incredible women, and all the women you're going to see in the movie were little girls with great potential, and you should just feed them.
Okay, I think that's it. Every little girl out there, you will could grow up to be a badass female.
There's an
and you will.
every single one of you.
No limit.
Right. Thank you guys so much. I love the movie. It's out October 15th. Everybody go watch it.
November 15th.
I mean, November 15th. Sorry.
No, 15th.
November 15th. We're in November. Thanks, guys.
Hello?
You're in grave danger. Get out of there now!
Open Safe House 6.
Welcome to the Townsend Agency.
I run a covert group of exceptional women. So you guys are like lady spies. We work outside the rules. I don't like that, boy. In secret. Together. You may not know we exist, but we are always watching.
Who steals humanitarian aid money?
You are in the presence of angels.
So, you want to train to be an angel?
Hell yeah. Give me my wings.
Let's go! Where do you think you're going? You need to land this bird, Hoffman. What? Later! Here we go.
Sit down, keep your hands where I can see them.
Really not supposed to be touching things in here unless you're supposed to be touching things in here.
You're adorable.
Jane, is that you flirting with a handsome nerd?
Bad girl, you're sad girl, you're such a dirty bad girl.
The best part isn't taking down international criminals. It's you guys.
And the day drinking. That's what I like the most.
Take her to the closet.
So I can just take whatever I want?
Borrow.
Is that an actual rule?
Angels. Time to go to work.